we'll know what he'll be eating for Thanksgiving. You know what I love? What to watch during this Thanksgiving.
Listen, it is a long holiday weekend. A lot of people have travel plans. They're going to be in the air, long flights, long waits at the airport, or maybe just a lot of family time and you'll want to excuse yourself for a little while. And there are plenty of new shows to kind of occupy your time. There are plenty of great shows to get caught up on if you haven't already. But there's some new stuff out now to end the month. And I wanted to start with one that's perfect for this time of year because we are talking about food. Netflix has a new season of Chef's Table. This is season 7 of this hit docuseries. 4 episodes in this one, but the reason I wanted to start with this and highlight this is because you know I love to start with local. And you may have seen the man that I wanted to highlight in that opening shot, Chef Kwame Onwuachi. Long-time ties to Washington, D.C. Now, in his episode, which is episode 3, he really dives in to his New York roots. He was born and raised in the Bronx, also spent some time over on the continent of Africa. So his cuisine is very influenced by that. He has a restaurant in New York called Tatiana. It is one of the hottest new restaurants in New York, and that is what he's really highlighting on this show. But I'm old enough to remember the Shaw Bijou. I'm old enough to remember Kith and Kin, and now he has Dogun over at the Salamander, D.C. So he has a lot of ties to our region as well, and I think fans of him, of his food, will very much enjoy his episode of this show.
That is just so cool. And to know that, you can check him out right here in D.C. as well. I mean, you don't see that every day.
Exactly. So he has a prominent role in this series. Like I said, episode 3, it's 4-episode series, streaming now on Netflix.
Awesome.
Chef's Table, 7 seasons. It is, listen, it is in depth with these masters of their craft. And he is featured alongside some other really, really big names. So it's actually a huge honor to be featured on that show.
Good stuff.
All right, so we're going to talk about another docu-series now, but it's going to be a radical change of pace because this one is for all the true crime fans out there, because Netflix also has Cold Case, Who Killed John Benet Ramsey. This is a 28-year-old murder mystery. This is a 3-episode series. It dropped earlier this week, and the main focus of this, it's not offering any new solutions. We still don't know the answer to this cold case, but it really focuses on kind of the unfair treatment her family, especially her parents and her brother, received in the immediate aftermath of her disappearance. So like I said, 3 episodes in that one. They're all streaming now on Netflix.
I think back to that time, I was obviously around, I think, as were you, when that happened. Yes. And no social media back then. It just consumed all of media. And so it was a bigger story, perhaps, back then than what it would be now, because there were less, let's say, avenues to see, what was going on. That was a big deal. I mean, all of America talked about that.
And it still fascinates people, which is why we're still getting docuseries about it almost 3 full decades later. All right, let's talk about some of the other new stuff out there right now. And we're going to start off on Netflix again, and this time we're talking about some star-studded new series. First up, we have Colman Domingo, Oscar nominee, in a show called The Madness. This is a limited series, so probably only a 1-season deal, but he stars as a media pundit who accidentally stumbles upon a murder in the woods of the Poconos and then has to kind of clear his name. So he's on the run from the law a little bit and trying to clear his name. You can catch that one streaming on Thursday on Netflix. Colman Domingo has been here in studio a couple times. I am a huge fan of his work and a huge fan of his style.
Yeah.
So definitely check that one out. The other star-studded new series we have is called The Agency. This one is on Paramount Plus. And listen to some of these names. Michael Fassbender, DC's own Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. This one stars Michael Fassbender as sort of like an undercover agent, but it's set in the world of the part of this spy agency that's in charge of kind of helping these people who have been deep undercover for a long time readjust to life. So this one is definitely a thriller series. Paramount Plus is where you can catch that one. Now we're going to talk a little holidays. And we're going to start off with 2 new movies. First up, we've got Sweethearts. This is over on Max. This one premieres on Friday. It's got Kiernan Shipka in it, who you may remember from shows like, I think she was in Mad Men, but she's been in a ton of other stuff. This one stars Kiernan Shipka and another man as college freshmen home for Thanksgiving who both decide to break up with their high school sweethearts on the night before Thanksgiving. So it's a little rom-com set around the Thanksgiving holiday. We don't have a ton of Thanksgiving movies, so that's why I especially like the idea of this one. And then we have the holiday movie Nutcrackers. This is Ben Stiller's first leading role in a movie in, I think, almost 8 years.
Wow.
That one's streaming on Hulu, involves him kind of looking after his nephews. So the phrase Nutcrackers there is it's a little bit of an innuendo, if you will. All right, so that's some of the new streaming stuff. We also have to talk about the Hallmark Channel, because they have what might be one of the most talked about Hallmark movies of all time. We are talking about Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. This premieres finally on Saturday night on the Hallmark Channel. And if you haven't heard about it, it's kind of inspired by a famous Chiefs love story. We're talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. This one stars Tyler Hines. Kevin got to talk to him, and if you missed it on the Lion Lunch Hour, you definitely want to check out that interview, because it turns into a total love fest, because Tyler is a huge fan of Kevin McCarthy.
Wow, not surprised.
It's a great interview, and I really suggest you check it out on our website, fox5dc.com. Touchdown, the Holiday Touchdown, which I believe also features a cameo you may have just seen there by Travis Kelce's mom.
Gosh.
This is actually a collaboration between the Hallmark Channel and the NFL. So the Chiefs actually prominently play a role in this, as does Arrowhead Stadium and all things Chiefs. So if you're sick of the Chiefs, maybe skip that one.
You know what's cool about this? I remember, was it back in August you stopped by and previewed
And
this?
we were talking about this,
Yeah.
They cranked this out pretty quickly when you think about it, because they shot, edited, and have it ready to go all in the span of less than half a year.
That is
the
awesome.
Hallmark Channel. They
You know, I think I'm
know
gonna
what
watch
they're
that.
doing. I think it'll actually be really fun. Curious to see whether the inspiration for it, Travis and Taylor themselves, will be tuned in. We know they do like
Yeah.
to watch some TV shows together, so we'll see what they are doing for this holiday weekend. She's wrapping up her Eras tour, so she might have some free time on her
who
hands
knows?
coming up. Now, listen, another holiday classic, always the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Love
If you're
it.
looking for it this year, you can only find it on streaming. It is not going to air on broadcast TV like it has for some 40, 50 years. Apple TV Plus is where you can find that.
Okay.
My personal favorite, what I watch every Thanksgiving, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with
I
Steve
love
Martin
that
and
story.
John Candy. It's a holiday classic. It's basically family friendly, except for one scene that involves 19 F-bombs in 1 minute or less by
Yeah.
Steve Martin. But to be honest with you, it's one of the funniest scenes in the movie, too.
Yeah, like that, and along with, hey, I'm sleeping on your pillow.
Those aren't pillows. Those aren't pillows. $6. No, I can't finish that quote either.
Oh gosh, I absolutely love that movie. That's
A John Hughes classic. And honestly, I was actually just rewatching. Steve Martin has a documentary that's out right now too, and there's a portion where he is talking about working with John Candy, and he reads a portion of the original script that was cut from the movie. And Steve Martin, who is known for being one of the funniest, most kind of stoic guys, actually gets very emotional remembering his old co-star. So
Good
it's a
stuff.
great movie. It definitely, it's very 80s,
Yeah.
but it holds up.
Yeah, definitely something I will watch come tomorrow. Producer Chris with all things to watch over the weekend. Hey, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, man.
Likewise,
Truly appreciate
thank you.
We're
Appreciate
thankful
you
for
too.
you right here on the
Gratitude.
Live Zone.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.